Continuing from the previous episode 260. Chapter 1189. 5-Colored Pill Lightning. The thundercloud in the sky has begun to change. A cry of disbelief suddenly resounded over the sky. Immediately, countless numbers of gazes firmly focused on the thundercloud above Xiaoyan's head. People as the original pill lightning began to change with the churning of the thundercloud. The expressions of a countless number of people were just stunned as they looked at this strange scene. Xiaoyan had actually done it. Good fellow, very incredible. Some people finally recovered in front of the stunned gazes of the countless number of people. They immediately cried out in an excited manner. Today, Xiaoyan had allowed them to witness a miracle. Xiao Ying's heart had risen to her throat earlier, but it finally fell as she stood on a distant stone platform. Her hand patted her full chest, which was rising and falling. A beautiful and bewitching smile quietly appeared on her face. He has really succeeded. Even Zhang Kongzi and the other important people on the tall stage were somewhat absent-minded at this moment. Their eyes were stunned as they watched the young figure on the stone platform. An envious expression involuntarily surfaced in Zhang Kongzi's eyes as he softly said, "I really envy that old fellow Yao Chen. He was able to find such an outstanding disciple." The situation has begun to change again. Next, we will just have to see just where Xiaoyan reaches. He is destined to be the main character in this pill gathering. Ha! It's just like that old fellow back then. The pretty woman slightly nodded and laughed. Those around also nodded upon hearing her words. Their eyes immediately looked to the thundercloud gathered in the sky with some anxiety. The situation they had thought was a foregone conclusion had been shaken by Xiaoyan. However, they still needed to wait for the change in the thundercloud to establish the final result. How is this possible? Compared to the joy of Zhang Kongzi's group, the expression of old Mu Jiyu had instantly sunk. He had not imagined that Xiaoyan would be able to rely on his own strength to shake this situation. A situation old Mu Jiyu thought had already been finalized. This person will definitely be a great enemy of the Hall of Souls in the future. A rich killing intent suddenly surged into the heart of old Mu Jiyu while his expression was dark and gloomy. Xiaoyan was able to reach this stage at such an age. If he were given enough time, would he not end up becoming an ultimate existence of this world? Old Mu Jiyu inhaled a deep breath of air and suppressed the churning killing intent within his heart. His expression was dark and cold as he stared at Xiaoyan. After which, he glanced at the churning thundercloud in the sky as Hour muttered to himself, "Although this skill of this brat is a little unexpected, it might not be able to surpass the old me. It is a little too early to act pleased now." Xiaoyan stood on the stone platform and looked down at the sea of people that stretched all the way to the edge of one's sight. Immediately, his eyes swung to old Mu Jiyu. His somewhat pale white face revealed a cold smile. He rubbed off the blood trace on the corner of his mouth before returning his gaze to the sky. Thunderclouds rolled around the vast and mighty sky. The sky had been forcefully split into a couple of different sections. Each section was occupied by a bright and colorful thundercloud. Powerful lightning lingered in the sky, causing the skin of quite a number of people to chill. When these bolts of lightning in the sky randomly fell, it was likely that many unlucky fellows would be blasted to the point where even their corpse disappeared. 2 thundercloud segments were the largest. One of them was the 4-colored thundercloud of old Mu Jiyu while the other was still churning. The churning thundercloud was Xiaoyan's 3-colored thundercloud, which had undergone a transformation due to the spiritual aura that Xiaoyan had added. The churning of the 3-colored thundercloud became intense above the gazes below. At a certain moment, a thread of golden light finally appeared in a sudden manner. It has appeared. The 4th color has appeared. The golden light was extremely dazzling. The moment it appeared, this light was detected tons of people. Immediately, a soul-stirring cheer resonated over the stages. Old Mu Gu's heart slightly sank when he saw this scene from the stone platform. The fists in his sleeves were tightened. The golden light brightened under the focus of a countless number of excited eyes. In the end, the brightness caught up with old Mu Gu's 4-colored thundercloud. Even the richness of the color had become similar to it. After the golden light completely appeared, everyone thought this would be the end, but they were suddenly shocked to discover that the churning of the thundercloud did not come to a stop. The people present had gained a simple understanding of the thunderclouds after the many experiences from earlier. They naturally knew that this meant the pill lightning's energy had yet to stabilize. There was still something brewing within the churning cloud. The thundercloud churned and the entire plaza had strangely descended into silence. Everyone held their breaths, and their eyes appeared to be fixed to the thundercloud. If this thundercloud were to reveal even a hint of color at this moment, it was likely that the champion of this pill gathering would transfer from old Mu Gu to Xiaoyan. Gulp. Everyone raised their heads. Their throats rolled, emitting wave after wave of saliva sounds. An anxious atmosphere covered the entire stadium. At this moment, even Cao Ying's group could not resist clenching their hands. The heartbeats in their chests had suddenly become faster. Old Mu Gu was also staring at the churning thundercloud in the sky from the stone platform. His face was a little distorted. His eyes turned to Xiaoyan in the distance. However, he only saw Xiaoyan standing there with his hands behind him. Xiaoyan's relaxed demeanor caused his heart to abruptly sink. An unusually terrifying, thunderous might suddenly surged while an uneasiness surged within old Mu Gu's heart. After which, it scattered across the sky. Not good. Old Mu Gu's expression suddenly turned white when the thunderous might appeared. He suddenly raised his head, only to see the churning thundercloud slowly come to a halt. A moment later, the cloud churned and a wisp of a purple light quietly penetrated the cloud layer with a gold-like radiance. It dyed the thundercloud a faint purple color. The purple color had just appeared when the thundercloud turned into a 5-colored pill lightning. Clamor. The quiet stadium started boiling at this moment. Countless numbers of excited people's faces turned red. Their cheers reverberated in an earth-shaking manner. Holy Pill City trembled under this sonic wave. 5-colored pill lightning. This kind of legendary thing had finally appeared in front of their eyes at this moment. How could this not cause them to be agitated and excited? Everyone knew that the victor of this pill gathering had been decided. Numerous heated eyes from all around were looked on the skinny figure standing on a stone platform in the sky. The degree of heat had reached a crazy level. Who could have possibly imagined that the foregone conclusion of the pill gathering would make a complete reversal because of a young man in his 20s? From today on, the name Xiaoyan would completely resonate over the entire Central Plains region. Cao Ying's pretty eyes also contained some excitement as she stared at the young man, whose expression had remained calm despite being the focus of tens of thousands of gazes. An unusual glint twinkled deep within her pretty eyes. The twinkling let anyone who witnessed it know that this witch, the person the Cao clan was most proud of, had begun to feel a warmth. Of course, no one could deny that Xiaoyan possesses a charm that no one could match at this moment. It was something brought about by success. Xiaoyan sighed in relief within his heart after the 5-colored thundercloud was formed. His tensed nerves relaxed at this moment. Waves of dizziness were transmitted to the rest of his body from his head. That so-called spiritual enhancement method had really exhausted his spiritual strength. Creak. Old Mu Gu's face was green as he looked at the 5-colored thundercloud in the sky. His dark, dense eyes suddenly swung to Xiaoyan. His fist was clenched until it emitted a cracking sound. His victory had been in reach, but it was shattered by Xiaoyan. How could old Mu Gu not become furious? The moment the 5-colored thundercloud appeared, old Mu Gu understood that the champion's spot had distanced itself from him. Who? A rough breathing was emitted from the nostrils of old Mu Gu. His eyes gained a dense killing intent as he stared at Xiaoyan. However, just as his desire to kill had reached its peak, icy cold eyes suddenly swept over, causing the killing intent within his heart to instantly shatter. His head turned, only to see Zhang Kongzi using an ice-cold gaze to stare at him from a tall platform. The corner of old Mu Gu's mouth twitched after recovering some parts of his consciousness. He hurriedly suppressed the killing intent within his heart. If he dared to attack Xiaoyan now, he knew that Zhang Kongzi would kill him on the spot. Brat, you better pray that you will not end up in the hands of the old me in the future. Otherwise, I will definitely let you taste what it means to suffer a fate worse than death, unable to die. The lips of old Mu Gu moved slightly as his vicious eyes returned to Xiaoyan. A dark and dense voice was suddenly emitted. Old Mu Gu's vicious voice was suddenly transmitted to Xiaoyan's ear, causing his brows to twitch. He turned his head to look at old Mu Gu. However, a warm smile suddenly surfaced on his face. He extended his hand with his thumb up before gently turning it upside down, directing his gesture to old Mu Gu. I have already told you that you are not qualified for teacher to act. Xiaoyan's lips moved after his thumb pointed down. A faint laugh was suddenly transmitted into old Mu Gu's ears. Gurg. This gesture, along with the faint disdain in Xiao Yan's words, caused old Mu Gu's face to turn green. A fury was accumulating in his heart, but he was unable to let it out. In the end, his face turned red. Bright red fresh blood was spat out in front of everyone's stunned eyes. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Continuing from the previous episode 261. Chapter 1190. Receiving the pill lightning, a mouthful of fresh blood was spat out of old Mu Gu's mouth. His feet only stabilized after taking 2 steps back. Both of his eyes were vicious as he looked at Xiao Yan, appearing exceptionally terrifying. With the status of old Mu Gu, he was a renowned existence even within the Central Plains region. However, at this moment, he had been impaired by the hands of Xiao Yan, a member of the younger generation. How could he easily swallow the anger in his heart? However, regardless of how furious, he needed to suppress his killing intent. He understood that his appearance had already caused Zhang Kongzi and the rest to view him as a thorn in their sides. Zhang Kongzi had not acted because he had not found an excuse to. However, if old Mu Gu were to do anything that deviated from the norm, Zhang Kongzi would use a bombshell tactic to kill him. This scourge, hence, old Mu Gu could only crush his teeth and swallow his anger at this moment. Xiao Yan, do not be happy just yet. The pill gathering is not completely over. With your strength, it is just a fantasy if you wish to receive this 5-colored pill lightning. However, this old Mu Gu was an extremely scheming person. After suppressing his anger, he caught sight of the enormous 5-colored thundercloud in the sky, and he suddenly jeered at Xiao Yan with a cold laugh. Receiving the pill lightning was also a test of the pill gathering. A Tier 8 medicinal pill was too powerful. The natural strength it created could destroy it. If the alchemist was unable to protect the medicinal pill, it would be destroyed as a result. Hence, receiving the pill lightning and protecting the medicinal pill was also part of the final test. The pill lightning's strength rose along with the quality of the medicinal pill. An ordinary elite Dozun would not dare to slight this kind of 5-colored thundercloud. From the way old Mu Gu saw it, Xiao Yan was merely a Dozong. Even though Xiao Yan possessed many tactics, it would not be an easy matter to receive this pill lightning. Moreover, if he was unlucky and ended up destroying the medicinal pill while receiving the pill lightning, Xiao Yan would not only lose his champion spot but would also lose the qualification to participate in the competition. After all, how could one participate if one's medicinal pill was gone? The surging sound of the entire square was reduced when everyone heard old Mu Gu's cold laughter. With his reminder, they finally discovered that the true strength of Xiao Yan was only at the Dozong level. Although this kind of strength was already quite great, it was insufficient against a 5-colored pill lightning. Quite a number of people looked at each other. The most difficult portion had already finished. However, was it possible that Xiao Yan might be forced to death at this critical moment? Few people really cared if one could receive the pill lightning. While refining medicinal pills during normal times, alchemists could gather many helpers to help block the pill lightning. After all, alchemists did not rely on themselves when fighting others. Many experts would volunteer to protect an alchemist who could refine a high-tier medicinal pill. A high-tier alchemist had no need to worry about finding helpers. Although one might say this, receiving the pill lightning had been a rule of the pill gathering for a long time. Even though it did not match the reality of the situation, one did not have any other choice. This fellow is still not giving up. Cao Ying slightly knit her brows as anxiety flashed across her eyes. 5-colored pill lightning was really too powerful. Although she was confident in Xiao Yan's prowess, this 5-colored pill lightning was not going to be good. If one were careless, it was not impossible for one to fail this last hurdle. Xiao Yan, who was the person involved, smiled under the focus of the worried eyes of many people. He raised his head and looked at the 5-colored pill lightning in the sky. The smile on his face became even more obvious. This thing was really a great tonic for his earth demon puppet. There is no need for you to be worried over such small matters. Old Mu Gu assumed Xiao Yan was putting on a brave front once he how calm Xiao Yan was. The cold smile on his face became even richer as he said in a dark and dense manner, "All right, the old me shall see just how you will receive this 5-colored pill lightning with your abilities." Xiao Yan smiled. He raised his head and looked at the seething sky. There was a faint but bright bolt of lightning that cut through the long sky with a bang. The sky lit up like the sun was out. From the looks of this thunderous might, this 5-colored pill lightning was indeed extremely terrifying. No wonder old Mu Gu adopted an attitude of watching a show. If the Earth Demon puppet could not absorb lightning, Xiao Yan might have really been stuck with a massive headache today. Unfortunately, a soft laugh was emitted from Xiao Yan's mouth. His hand was gently raised and the storage ring on his finger slightly flashed. Immediately, a bright silver figure appeared in front of him. The current Earth Demon puppet was in a miserable state after having blocked old Gumu's killing move within the pill realm. Not only had its chest sunk into its body, but its harder-than-metal skin had split, revealing its silver-colored flesh. This sudden action of Xiao Yan immediately attracted many gazes. However, after these gazes saw that he had summoned a nearly crippled puppet, they involuntarily felt a little disappointed. Could it be that Xiao Yan was hoping to deal with the terrifying 5-colored pill lightning with this nearly ruined puppet? Old Mu Gu was stunned because of the Earth Demon puppet that Xiao Yan had summoned. He was familiar with this thing. If this puppet had not jumped in front of him within this pill realm, he would have killed Cao Ying on the spot. It was because of his contact with this thing that his face involuntarily revealed a mocking smile when he saw that Xiao Yan was planning on relying on this thing to block the 5-colored pill lightning. This puppet was unable to receive even a punch from him. How would it be able to receive the 5-colored pill lightning? According to old Mu Gu's guess, that silver-colored puppet should only be around an 8 or 9 star Do Zong. It could be considered a puppet of a high level, and it could be used to block 1 or 2 bolts of 5-colored pill lightning. However, one was daydreaming if one wished to rely on it to endure the entire pill lightning. I think that you are randomly looking for solutions. Old Mu Gu shook his head as he laughed with a mocking tone. Xiao Yan did not mind old Mu Gu's laughter. Someone who failed would always find other methods to vent one's anger. This venting appeared a little sad. Xiao Yan's hand gently rubbed the body of the Earth Demon puppet. Although this Earth Demon puppet had been left in tragic state after its battle with old Mu Gu, it was fortunate that this thing did not possess any form of intelligence or any feelings of pain. As long as its body was not destroyed, it would obey Xiao Yan's orders forever. I will rely on you this time around. Xiao Yan smiled as his hand gently patted the body of the Earth Demon puppet. He suddenly raised his head and looked at the 5-colored thundercloud, emitting low rumbles in the sky. He laughed out loud. Come. The churning of the thundercloud in the sky intensified after Xiao Yan's laughed. A deep rumble reverberated above the ground. A thigh-thick, bright bolt of lightning shot through the cloud. Kai! The thundercloud churned before it abruptly shrank. Immediately, a 5-colored bolt of lightning rushed down from the cloud like a giant python. It tore through the air, carrying a terrifying ripping sound as it violently pounced toward the stone stage where Xiao Yan was located. Go! Xiao Yan smiled as he watched the pill lightning finally unleash an attack. His finger pointed at the sky as he softly commanded. His cry sounded and the Earth Demon puppet, which was almost a pile of scrap, immediately stomped on the ground. The powerful force created rocketed it into the sky. After which, it collided with the powerful thunderbolt in front of everyone's stunned eyes. Oh! A sigh immediately sounded in the stadium when everyone saw what was happening. Hee! Old Mu Gu also let out a strange laugh. However, before he could speak, his expression suddenly changed. He discovered that the Earth Demon puppet, which had been struck by the 5-colored bolt of lightning, did not crumble apart. Instead, its damaged body slowly began to recover in the thunderbolt. Its chest gradually began to reform. This puppet is absorbing the thunderbolt's strength? Old Mu Gu's eyes immediately contracted when he saw the Earth Demon puppet grow brighter after being struck by the lightning. This kind of strange puppet was one that he had never even heard of. No wonder this fellow is so confident. He possesses such a unique puppet. Bastard! Had I known back then, I would have destroyed it in the pill realm. The expression of old Mu Gu turned gloomy to the point of being frightening. His heart was filled with regret. If his blow had been a little heavier within the pill realm, this Earth Demon puppet would have been laid to waste. Now, Xiao Yan would use this sharp weapon to avoid the lightning. Compared to the gloominess and regret of old Mu Gu, Cao Ying's group sighed in relief at this moment. Although she was unaware of why this unique puppet possessed such a strength, reality told them that Xiao Yan successfully passed the final test. The champion spot of the pill gathering belonged to him. Haha, this little fellow does indeed possess a lot of treasures. A puppet that absorbs the strength of a thunderbolt. Back then, I saw one in an ancient ruin. Unfortunately, it was destroyed while those fellows were fighting over it. The pretty woman on the tall stage smiled as she softly reminisced. That old bastard Mu Gu is likely feeling depressed. That dark-skinned, old man also revealed a gloating smile on his face at this moment. Zhang Kongzi nodded with a grin. The current him had once again recovered his usual calmness. His fingers crossed each other as he smiled and said, "This time around, our pill tower will owe this little fellow a favor." The pretty woman and the dark-skinned man by his side nodded with beaming expressions when they heard his words. If Xiao Yan had not lent a hand, it was likely that the champion spot of this pill gathering would have landed in the hands of the old bastard Mu Gu this time around. At that time, the reputation of the pill tower would have suffered a heavy blow. Xiao Yan on the stone platform was staring at the earth demon puppet. It was growing brighter after being struck by numerous five-colored thunderbolt, while the three of them were chatting. Xiao Yan's dark black eyes had a heated expression flash over them. He wondered whether the earth demon puppet would be able to evolve into a sky demon puppet after absorbing this five-colored pill lightning. Xiao Yan's breathing involuntarily became hurried after he thought of the frightening strength of the sky demon puppet, comparable to an elite Do Zun. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Continuing from the previous episode 262. Chapter 1191. Evolution. Sky Demon Puppet. Bang! Bang! Bright thunderbolts danced ferociously in the sky like large, roaring dragons. Immediately, a bright lightning glow rushed down from all directions. Finally, they came together to strike the body of the earth demon puppet. The thunderbolt violently landed on the body of the earth demon puppet. A bright silver bolt blasted apart. Immediately, it transformed into countless numbers of tiny electric serpent flowed along the skin of the earth demon puppet before entering its body. Bright strength surged into the body of the earth demon puppet, swiftly strengthening its bones and shriveled skin. Looking from a distance, the earth demon puppet appeared just like a thunder god suspended in the sky. Lightning glows flickered in a 100-foot radius of it. That terrifying momentum caused people to involuntarily feel the skin on their heads turn numb. Xiao Yan stood with his hands behind him on the stone stage. The earth demon puppet forcefully received all of the five-colored thunderbolts that shot toward him, letting him be incomparably relaxed. He did not even need to waste the slightest strength to deal with this troublesome pill lightning. Rumbling thunder resounded unceasingly over the sky. The churning five-colored thundercloud, a lightning-producing device that continuously spat out powerful thunderbolts. Finally, they landed on the body of the sky demon puppet. The five-colored thundercloud surged. This continued for 10 minutes before it gradually came to a stop. Almost 100 frightening thunderbolts rushed down from the thundercloud during these 10 minutes. Fortunately, these bolts of lightning did not harm the earth demon puppet. Instead, its bright silver surface was vaguely speckled with golden lusters. It is indeed worthy of being a five-colored pill lightning. The sharp eyes of Xiao Yan were the first to discover golden lusters flickering around the body of the earth demon puppet. Immediately, an expression of joy involuntarily surged into his eyes. Although this golden color was extremely faint, Xiao Yan was quite satisfied with it. He clearly understood just what kind of enormous strength would be needed in order to evolve the earth demon puppet into the sky demon puppet. However, the entire body of the sky demon puppet is gold in color. Currently, the earth demon puppet still has some distance to it. An expression of thought flashed across Xiao Yan's face after he felt joyful. He softly muttered, "This is insufficient." While Xiao Yan mused, the five-colored thundercloud in the sky seemed to have become somewhat furious when the thunderbolts were absorbed by the earth demon puppet. Immediately, the cloud churned. An unusual suction force suddenly surged out from the cloud. Everyone was stunned to discover a couple of the thunderclouds appeared like they were being towed by something. They slowly gathered around the five-colored pill lightning. Everyone was stunned upon seeing this scene. Even Zhang Kongzi and the others did not expect these pill lightnings to form such an unusual change. The expressions of Cao Ying's group became stunned. They watched the pill lightning above their heads gathering in the sky where Xiao Yan was located. A moment later, an extremely large thundercloud covered the sky. This brat's luck is unusually bad. Even the heavens are helping the old me. Old Mu Gu, who was originally disappointed, had become startled because of this change. A wild joy immediately surged into his eyes. This was an opportunity the heavens had given him. Suddenly, the enormous thundercloud stirred a commotion in the stadium. The lightning might in the sky was overly frightening. If it were to randomly smash down, it was likely that those present could end up seriously injured. The pill lightning has attracted each other and is gathering in the same spot. This might will soar once again. Should we intervene? In such a situation, it would not be overboard for us to intervene. Zhang Kongzi slightly knit his eyebrows as he observed the unusual phenomenon in the sky. He finally asked the people around him a question. He was a little worried that an accident might occur to Xiao Yan in this kind of situation. Let's wait a little first. This little fellow does not appear worried. The pretty woman shook her head as she softly replied. The eyes of Zhang Kongzi's group turned to Xiao Yan on the stone platform upon hearing her words. They did indeed see him with his head up, looking at the dense thundercloud in the sky. His face was not only without worry, he even seemed excited. Even Zhang Kongzi ended up widening his mouth upon seeing this scene. Immediately, he shook his head with a bitter smile. It seemed that he had indeed underestimated Xiao Yan. The energy in around the plaza had become unusually violent with the gathering thundercloud. A terrifying thunderous might spread across the sky, causing the dou qi within one's body to appear a little sluggish at this moment. Bang 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 bang, the thundercloud finally unleashed its terrifying destructive strength soon after it was agglomerated. Bright thunderbolts rushed down from the large cloud in all directions. Their directions all suddenly changed as they flew through the air, and they all pointed at the earth demon puppet in the sky. Clang! Numerous thunderbolts full of terrifying strength poured down on the earth demon puppet like a storm. Immediately, a clear metallic sound resonated over the stadium. Bang! The earth demon puppet's body continued to fall under the wild attacks of these thunderbolts. The surrounding space formed some dark black spatial cracks amid this attack. What powerful thunderbolts! Quite a number of people's expressions changed when they saw the dark black spatial lines. Their eyes were stunned as they looked at the strengthening earth demon puppet within the lightning-filled sky. Although they were unable to sense the aura of the earth demon puppet, anyone with sharp eyes could tell that the earth demon puppet was growing stronger amid the thunderbolts pouring down from the sky. The bright thunderbolts that continued to fall caused the smile on Xiao Yan's face to grow more visible. He had discovered that the golden-colored luster on the earth demon puppets was expanding as the thunderbolts flashing down increased. Soon, Xiao Yan gently licked his lips. His dark black eyes were filled with anticipation. The thundercloud was thick as it covered the sky. The repeated sounds of thunder caused quite a number of people feel their ears go numb. Today, they had witnessed the most pill lightnings they would ever see in their life. Moreover, the thing that really rendered others speechless was that such a spectacular pill lightning was unable to deal with a small puppet, causing them to feel some doubt over the might of this pill lightning. Of course, this kind of doubt swiftly disappeared upon seeing the dark black space splitting open around on the earth demon puppet. The pill lightning that had formed was undoubtedly a terrifying thing. The raining thunderbolts continued for nearly half an hour. After this half an hour, the bright bolt of lightning in the sky fiercely destroyed everything around them. Of course, the eyes and ears of those present had also been devastated. After half an hour of the pill lightning's baptism, the originally bright silver body of the earth demon puppet had half transformed into a glittering golden color. Bang bang! The pill lightning continued its destruction even though it felt unsatisfied. Eventually, it involuntarily let go of this bone that was difficult to chew. The energy that fluctuated within the cloud layer slowly paled. After which, the thick thundercloud slowly scattered in front of the countless number of gazes below. When this frightening pill lightning finally withdrew, Xiao Yan watched as the remaining piece of palm-sized silver on the earth demon puppet's body suddenly changed to a golden color. While the earth demon puppets changed into this golden color, Xiao Yan could vaguely sense the interior of the earth demon puppet undergo a monstrous transformation. Following the scattering of the thundercloud, the golden-colored earth demon puppet also leapt to its feet. After which, space distorted, and a kai sound appeared in front of Xiao Yan. After which, the puppet stood at his side like the most loyal guard. Is it finally about to succeed? Xiao Yan's eyes were heated as he stared at the earth demon puppet in front of him. His hand gently pressed down on its golden-colored skin. Strangely, not even the slightest feeling of hardness remained. Instead, it appeared even softer. Xiao Yan raised his eyebrows upon sensing this change. He flicked his finger and a jade-green flame agglomerated into the shape of a dagger on the tip of his finger. After which, it viciously cut across the earth demon puppet's golden-colored skin. When the flame transformed into a dagger, Xiao Yan was stunned to discover a faint white scar form on its skin. Moreover, this white scar automatically disappeared. What a terrifying defense! Xiao Yan involuntarily inhaled a breath of cool air when he saw this. His eyes were fiery hot as he stared at the earth demon puppet. However, calling it the sky demon puppet would likely be more suitable now. After so many years of grooming, this puppet Xiao Yan had built had finally evolved to the highest level. With the sky demon puppet, Xiao Yan would own another life-preserving trump card. Xiao Yan's gently smiled as his finger patted the arm of the sky demon puppet. He smiled. The returns of this pill gathering were far beyond his expectations. When the thick thundercloud in the sky disappeared, a warm light once again scattered down. It covered the stadium that had been devastated by the pill lightning. This temperature caused quite a number of people to feel an unusual born-again feeling. After enjoying being bathed in the sunlight for a moment, the heads of everyone in the stadium suddenly swung to the tall stage where Zhang Kongzi's group was located. Currently, the pill gathering was coming to a close. Next would be the time to announce the final winner. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Continuing from the previous episode 263. Chapter 1192. The closure of the pill gathering. Zhang Kongzi on the tall stage smiled at the entire stadium. Immediately, he took a step forward. His eyes slowly swept over the sky before pausing on a skinny figure. The old me shall not say any unnecessary words at this moment. The pill lightning has scattered. All the competitors, please take out the medicinal pills that you have refined. The 10+ people still remaining on the stone platform hesitated for a moment upon hearing Zhang Kongzi's voice. Numerous round and shiny medicinal pills slowly flew from their hands. They floated in front of them. The medicinal fragrances lingering in the plaza had become much denser when these medicinal pills appeared. Innumerable gazes looked over. 9 night pearl existences were present amid the floating medicinal pills. Although they were of good quality and were sought after Tier 7 high-grade medicinal pills, they were not eye-catching. This was because above these 9 Tier 7 medicinal pills were 5 medicinal pills with faint spiritual fogs encircling them. Although the outer appearance of a Tier 7 pill and a Tier 8 pill were similar, even someone who knew nothing about pill refinement would be able to tell the difference between the two. This difference was the difference in spirituality. The energy of a Tier 7 medicinal pill was extremely dense. However, it was a dead pill. On the other hand, a Tier 8 medicinal pill possessed its own spirituality. Only this kind of medicinal pill could be called a living pill, or a spiritual pill. The 5 Tier 8 medicinal pills had just appeared when tried to increase the distance between each other. Cao Ying's and Dan Chen's medicinal pills were the ones with the weakest spirituality among these 5 medicinal pills. A faint spiritual fog lingered around their medicinal pills, and the fog vaguely agglomerated into a fox and rabbit image. A Tier 8 medicinal pill already possessed some spirituality. This statement was true from the looks of it since the pill was able to form a shape. Countless numbers of curious gazes looked at the 5 Tier 8 medicinal pills in the air. This strange scene was witnessed by quite a number of people for the first time. Tier 8 medicinal pills were indeed extraordinary. Not far beside the medicinal pills of Cao Ying and Dan Chen were 3 comparatively larger medicinal pills. Among them, the medicinal pill of old demon Qing Hua had formed a bear shape. However, it did not possess any fighting thoughts. It merely guarded its territory because it knew it would not be able to deal with those other 2 fierce existences. While being surrounded by the 4 other Tier 8 medicinal pills, the medicinal pill of old Mu Ji Yu, which had stirred a 4-colored pill lightning, was filled with spiritual aura. It had formed a ferocious tiger shape that was repeatedly roaring at Xiao Yan's bone-growing blood-fusing pill. It appeared to be extremely dissatisfied that the other party had snatched the prestige that ought to belong to it. Kai, before the tiger roar could sound, a dense spiritual aura swiftly appeared around the bone-growing blood-fusing pill. Immediately, it transformed into a small half-a-meter dragon. It swung its tail and violently slammed it against the tiger-formed medicinal pill of Old Mu Gu. Old Mu Gu's pill was beaten until it let out a miserable whimper. After which, it dejectedly flew some distance away. After having undergone the baptism of the 5-colored pill lightning, the bone-growing blood-fusing pill was not something this grade 4 medicinal pill could deal with. Following the forms of these medicinal pills, numerous light suddenly surged out of them. They were ranked like a golden pagoda. At the top of the golden pagoda was a small dragon that was filled with spirituality. It let out a long roar at the sky. Its bright light was just like a sun had exploded. At this moment, everyone could clearly sense just what kind of pure, terrifying energy was contained in the interior of this small medicinal pill. From the tall stage, Zhang Kongzi looked at the unresisting medicinal pills that had been suppressed by the bone-growing blood-fusing pill. He involuntarily smiled. Immediately, he cried out in a loud voice, "Spirituality is honored in medicinal pills." Currently, the most honored medicinal pill of this pill gathering has been born. Its owner is the final champion of this pill gathering. The champion is Xiao Yan. Upon hearing Zhang Kongzi's short and powerful words, countless numbers of gazes immediately turned to the stone stage in a uniform manner. A moment later, a deafening cheer reverberated across the sky in an earth-shaking manner. They had witnessed the occurrence of a miracle as well as the great pride in turning things around with one's own strength. This pride caused the hearts of a countless number of people turned chaotic. Their blood boiled as a result. Xiao Yan overlooked the boiling stadium from the stone platform above. He involuntarily smiled. Immediately, his eyes looked to the sky while he softly muttered in his heart, "Teacher, this disciple did not cause you to lose face." Cao Ying and the rest revealed envious expressions in their eyes as they looked at Xiao Yan, who is the center of attention for tens of thousands of people. At this moment, he was undoubtedly the most dazzling person on stage. The champion of the pill gathering. This qualification was the representation of a peak expert because all pill gathering champions from previous generations eventually became top existences. This point was enough to cause the people around to understand just what kind of shocking potential this skinny, young man possessed. Songqing's expression was complicated as he stared at Xiao Yan. His eyes were jealous, but still displayed a great amount of helplessness. Xiao Yan's performance this time around had caused a defeated feeling to appear in his heart. He didn't even possess the thought of catching up to Xiao Yan. Bastard. The most furious person was naturally Old Mu Gu. The champion position that he was about to obtain had suddenly disappeared. Moreover, he had been ridiculed by Xiao Yan. How could this not cause this alchemist guru, who possessed quite a great reputation in the Central Plains, to be furious? Although he was furious, he was unable to do anything at this moment. He could only watch as the ultimate glory of being the champion steadily landed on Xiao Yan's shoulders. "Brat, you should not be happy. The old me swears that I will deal with you personally." Old Mu Gu's eyes were a little red. His words were accurately transmitted to Xiao Yan's ears through the use of Do Qi. Xiao Yan faintly smiled upon hearing his threat. He glanced at the sky demon puppet beside him and a dense chill flashed across his eyes. His heart was already filled with a killing intent for Old Mu Gu that was difficult to resolve. Once the matter of the 3,000 burning flame was over, he would definitely let this old fellow know just who would deal with who. Currently, the Earth Demon puppet had evolved into the Sky Demon puppet. Adding this to the Little Fairy Doctor and Tian Huo Zun Jie, there were 3 elite Do Zuns beside him. It would not be difficult to finish Old Mu Gu off with this kind of frightening lineup. This soul-stirring, boiling applause continued for nearly a dozen minutes before it slowly faded away. "Xiao Yan, you have already become the champion of the pill gathering. In the future, you will also become a potential candidate for the 3 great heads of the pill tower." Zhang Kongzi smiled and looked at Xiao Yan on the stone platform as he slowly spoke. Countless numbers of envious and jealous eyes shot toward Xiao Yan when these words from Zhang Kongzi sounded. A potential successor for the future 3 great heads of the pill tower. This title meant that Xiao Yan had the potential to become a great head of the pill tower in the future. This position really stood at the peak of the Do Qi continent. Everyone present was clearly aware of just what kind of authority the great heads of the pill tower had. They were the spiritual leaders in the hearts of a countless number of alchemists around the continent. The Pill Tower had never really gone to war with anyone. However, no one on the continent doubted the terrifying strength that this ancient faction possessed. Xiao Yan slightly nodded in front of those envious gazes. Regardless of whether or not he would truly become a great head of the Pill Tower in the future, there was, at the very least, no need to reject the title. Like I said earlier, you will obtain a scroll containing a soul training method from ancient times as the champion. Zhang Kongzi waved his hand. An ancient, goatskin scroll appeared in it. After which, his palm was pushed forward. This ancient scroll rushed to Xiao Yan at a lightning-like speed under a mixture of light. A joyous expression flashed across Xiao Yan's face upon hearing his words. He had advanced to the 8th tier. If he wanted to climb higher, he would need a soul training method. The word formula that he had obtained from the spirit nourishment powder was too short, even though it would occasionally be useful. However, it was impossible for it to help him advance again. Therefore, this so-called soul training method from ancient times was too important to him. Xiao Yan curled his hand and accurately grabbed the cluster of light. The glow disappeared and revealed an ancient, goatskin scroll. There was a unique feeling surging within his heart when his hand made contact with the goatskin. It is indeed a good thing. Xiao Yan quietly praised in his heart when he sensed this strange feeling. He immediately laughed. With this thing, he would be able to swiftly stabilize his soul. Although Xiao Yan was quite curious about this soul training method, this moment was not the time to look at it. He flipped his hand and stored it into his storage ring in front of the many fiery hot eyes. After which, he turned to Zhang Kongzi and cupped his hands together in thanks. Zhang Kongzi smiled as he looked at the satisfied expression on Xiao Yan's face. Only when the applause that resounded over the sky slowly reduced did he say, "The champion has appeared. The Star Realm will open in 2 days. At that time, the top 10 of this pill gathering will have the opportunity to enter it and subdue the 3,000 burning flame." Zhang Kongzi's words had just sounded when Xiao Yan, who had calmed down a little, felt an uncontrollable surge of excitement. The reason he had put in so much effort was for the 3,000 burning flames. Soon, this legendary, undying flame could finally be captured. Of course, not only Xiao Yan was excited at this moment, the eyes of the others, including old Mu Ji, also became hot almost instantly. Clearly, the 3,000 burning flame was an attractive thing to them. Upon seeing the excited expressions on the faces of these people, everyone knew that the Grand Pill Gathering had reached its end. However, the competitions had yet to end. The target of this struggle this time around was not to be the champion of the Pill Gathering. Instead, it was for the legendary, undying flame, the 3,000 burning flame. Just who would be able to get their hands on such a unique object? This question caused the hearts of those present to fill with anticipation and curiosity. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible.